Welcome to Nature Nerds. On today's episode we meander through Riverview Park, located in Independence, Oregon. This historic town is located just a few miles southwest of Salem, on the opposite side of the Willamette River. It's a memorable spot, blending together the typical city park style with plenty of natural areas along the way. Ash Creek flows across the park, with the trail going directly over it. In 2013, a grant was awarded to restore the ecological health of Ash Creek. In partnership with various private and government organizations, the locals are working with landowners to remove invasive species that have taken over much of the riparian area, and replant streamside lands with native vegetation. The park is the starting point for the Willamette River Trail, a 5K path that loops north along the Willamette, providing excellent river views and bird-watching opportunities, as well as several stations along the main path for those looking for a more intense workout. From this trail you can also access the dog park, disc golf course, and boat ramp. Dispersed along the Willamette River 5K trail are many side paths leading through to the river. It's here where we spend most of our time. Away from the open fields and under the cover of brilliant green forest canopies. This is Ganoderma aplanatum, commonly called artist's conch. This fungus grows within the wood of living and dead trees. A peculiarity of this fungus lies in its use as a drawing medium for artists. It even has culinary uses because of its rich mushroom flavor, when cooked. Studies have shown artist's conch contains compounds with potent anti-tumor, antibacterial, and antifibrotic properties. We come across a wasp of some sort. It looks like a yellow jacket, only much larger than usual. It's intimidating, but we must get closer in order to get a better shot. Time-lapses are great for showing movement that you might not even realize is happening, such as these swirling masses of duckweeds and other water plants and debris. A couple of old apple trees lie next to the path. They appear to be part of an old orchard. A spider sits near the trail. You've likely come across this species if you live in North America or Europe. Arana usd or Damertus, also known as European garden spider. They're quite fond of leaving webs across trails in the forest, so be sure to keep a sharp eye, and a stick handy to clear the way. After looking for over an hour, we still can't conclusively identify this flower. If you know what it is, please comment with the name. Not tired enough, we decide to try a tire flip. Magnificent form. Here we have what looks to be a clematis of some kind, but we are unable to provide any identification beyond that. There are numerous species and they all look quite similar. These feathery puffballs contain their seeds. At the end of the 5K trail lies the boat ramp and dock. From here you can hop in your boat and access the Willamette Water Trail, an assemblage of properties that provide access and campsites for paddlers along 187 miles of the river. Through this grand gateway you can explore rarely seen areas of Oregon. Areas full of wildlife, including birds for watching and fish for catching. Or you can just play around in the water like these folks are doing on their wakeboard. This fly stopped for a rest in the shade with us. It didn't seem to mind us at all. We'd prefer a river without motorized boats, but the waves they leave behind are at least entertaining to watch. The sun begins to set and we start heading back to the car. But first, time for something a little different. Let's take a look at historic downtown Independence before we go. It's a charming area, rich with history, style, and elegance. We finish our quick tour of the city and head back to the car, this time for real. We're exhausted from a day full of adventure, but glad to have had the chance to spend time in the wild. That's all for this episode of Nature Nerds. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing. Comment and let us know what park we should go to next. And if you're a truly special human and wish to support us monetarily, our PayPal link is on screen now. Finally, we'd now like you to get off the internet and get into nature.